Have you ever stopped to think how a beloved fantasy story could actually be this profound reflection on the darker sides of human nature? Or maybe even a meditation on death itself?
It's true. Beyond the epic battles and the magic, this book holds some really surprising depths
Yeah.
about power, sacrifice.
And what it really means to be a hero, right? It's not always obvious. Welcome to this unique exploration. Today, we're diving deep, drawing knowledge from a comprehensive analysis of just one truly monumental work, J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings.
And just so you know, you are experiencing a unique two-voice AI conversation powered by Google's NotebookLM. The idea is to get a deeper, more dynamic kind of book analysis.
Exactly. So The Lord of the Rings, published between 54 and 55, I mean, it's arguably one of the most influential, most enduring fantasy works ever written.
Oh, absolutely. And it's so much more than just, an adventure story. It's this incredibly complex look at power, at mortality, heroism, the classic struggle between good and evil.
All set within Middle-earth, this world he built with such meticulous detail.
Right. That world building is key. It's the foundation that lets him explore these massive questions: sacrifice, friendship, the corrupting nature of power.
All through Frodo's quest, this central narrative of destroying the One Ring.
And it's fascinating how that seemingly small hobbit's quest becomes the hinge upon which the fate of the entire world turns.
It lets Tolkien examine these huge themes, not just on the battlefield, but in really personal choices.
Yeah, the individual struggles. And, the way the book was published actually plays into this, too.
Oh, right, the publication history. He didn't initially plan for 3 volumes, did he?
No, not at all. Originally, he saw it as a single volume, probably alongside the Silmarillion. But economic reasons, publishing constraints back then
led to the split. Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King.
Exactly. And that split, though maybe practical for the publisher, it actually creates this wonderful narrative arc. It maps almost perfectly onto the classic hero's journey. Departure, initiation, return.
Huh. That's interesting. I hadn't quite thought of the publication split, shaping it like that.
And internally, it's divided into 6 books, 2 per volume, plus those massive appendices.
Oh, the appendices, genealogies, languages.
Yeah.
It shows his, scholarly dedication to it all.
Absolutely. It's world building on another level.
So let's look at the Fellowship of the Ring. That first part really sets everything up, doesn't it? Establishes the conflict, the quest.
It does. It starts quite small, almost cozy, with Bilbo's party. But then he leaves the ring to Frodo.
And Gandalf's realization. That moment changes everything. Suddenly, Frodo has to leave the Shire.
Right. And then the Council of Elrond, that's where the Fellowship forms, bringing together all these different free peoples.
That immediately highlights the unlikely hero theme,
Yeah.
Putting the world's fate on a hobbit.
Precisely. It's not a great warrior stepping up initially, it's Frodo. And the Fellowship itself underlines that this fight needs, everyone. Unlikely alliances.
And the end of Fellowship.
Yeah.
It's quite shattering, really. Boromir's fall, Gandalf's apparent death, and Moria.
It dissolves the group, basically. And that forces Frodo and Sam to go on alone. It makes the quest intensely personal, almost private from that point on for them.
Which leads perfectly into the Two Towers and that really innovative dual narrative structure.
Yeah, that's brilliant storytelling. Tolkien uses the separation of the characters to follow 2 major threads simultaneously.
How did that structure work? You've got Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli doing one thing.
Right. They're chasing the orcs who captured Merry and Pippin. Then they meet Gandalf again resurrected and get drawn into the wider War of the Ring. That thread culminates at Helm's Deep. Epic battle.
And at the same time, we're following Frodo and Sam.
Exactly. Their journey is completely different. It's treacherous, sneaky, guided by Gollum through places like the Dead Marshes, heading towards Mordor. Much more internal, psychological.
It lets you see the big picture war and the intimate struggle against the ring's power unfolding side by side.
It's incredibly effective. And the climax of Two Towers for Frodo and Sam Frodo getting captured by orcs after Shelob's attack, Sam's left alone, it's just devastating.
It feels like rock bottom, designed to really push the reader, maybe.
Yeah.
Emphasize the cost.
I think so. It strips everything away except, Sam's loyalty and determination, just pure grit needed there.
And then the Return of the King brings it all crashing together.
It does. Multiple storylines converge dramatically. You have Aragorn finally embracing his destiny as king.
Running parallel to Frodo getting closer and closer to Mount Doom. It really shows how individual choices shape history.
Absolutely. And you have the massive battle of the Pelennor Fields, The culmination of the war, really. The fate of Middle-earth hanging in the balance.
And then the ring's destruction. It's not Frodo who does it, ultimately. It's Gollum tumbling into the fire.
That's the eucatastrophe Tolkien talked about, that sudden, joyous turn when everything seems lost, a kind of miracle, almost divinely inspired, he felt was essential to myth.
Let's pivot to the characters then. Frodo, he's not a typical fantasy hero, is he?
Not at all. He embodies Tolkien's idea that true greatness is in moral courage, endurance, not fighting skill.
He starts as this comfortable hobbit, goes on the hero's journey, but it transforms him spiritually, not just physically.
Right. And the ring, its influence on him is shown so subtly at first, then grows. That gradual corruption, the isolation it causes, it's a masterful look at power's psychological toll.
Makes you think, doesn't it? Is real strength holding on to power or letting it go?
A key question. And the fact that Frodo can't destroy it willingly in the end, that's crucial.
It shows incredible nuance. Even the best can fall, which makes Gollum's role, well, profoundly ironic.
Absolutely. And then you have Sam. Samwise Gamgee.
Ah, Sam, the emotional core, maybe. Loyalty, courage, common sense.
Definitely. He starts as just the gardener, but his journey is incredible. He becomes this extraordinary hero purely through dedication to Frodo.
And he even carries the ring himself for a short time.
Yes, which highlights his own moral strength, but also shows the ring's power. It tempts everyone. Even Sam feels it.
But his actions in Mordor, helping Frodo, and then later healing the Shire, many see him as the true hero.
There's a strong case for it. Simple goodness, loyalty, love, triumphing over this vast, complex evil. It's powerful stuff.
And Aragorn, the king in exile.
A classic archetype. But Tolkien does so much with him. His return symbolizes restoring legitimate authority, natural order.
We first meet him as Strider, this mysterious ranger. The reveal of his lineage, heir of Isildur, king of Gondor. It unfolds gradually.
And his personal journey, from being this reluctant wanderer to embracing his role as king, mirrors that larger theme of restoration throughout the whole book.
Plus his relationship with Arwen. That adds another layer, right? Connecting personal love and happiness with his public duty.
Exactly. It shows how personal destiny and the fate of the world are intertwined.
Now, Tolkien himself said one of the main themes was death and immortality. How does that play out?
It's central. He explores how different beings, immortal elves, mortal men, hobbits, confront the fact of death or endless life.
The elves leaving Middle-earth, that feels poignant. Like the end of an age.
It represents that natural cycle. While mortals have to find meaning in their finite lives, you see it powerfully with Frodo, too, at the end.
His journey to the Undying Lands. Because the wounds from the ring, they can't fully heal in the mortal world.
Right. It's a kind of healing grace. And the idea of a good death is there, too. Boromir redeeming himself, Theoden dying heroically in battle. How you face death gives life meaning.
And intimately tied to that is the theme of power, especially its corrupting nature. The ring is the obvious symbol.
The central metaphor, absolutely. It shows how power twists things. Look at Boromir, noble intentions, but the ring seduces him.
Contrasted with someone like Galadriel, who refuses it, that shows incredible wisdom, resisting that ambition.
Yeah, and the theme isn't just about the ring. Think about Saruman's lust for industrial power, or Denethor's fall into despair, which is another kind of failure of power, or rather a reaction to overwhelming power.
So Tolkien seems to be suggesting that power itself is, well, maybe fundamentally risky for mortals, almost incompatible with our nature.
That seems to be the implication. It's inherently dangerous. Which leads to another really interesting idea some critics have raised.
What's that?
That The Lord of the Rings isn't a traditional quest at all. It's an anti-quest.
An anti-quest? How so?
Because traditional quests are about gaining something, treasure, a throne, glory. Frodo's quest is about renunciation, getting rid of something incredibly powerful.
Ah, I see. It's about abandoning power, accepting suffering for the greater good, not about acquisition.
Exactly. Completely flips the script. And some think this reflects Tolkien's own experiences in World War I and II, how modern war changed ideas about heroism.
So less about conquest, more about sacrifice. True heroism is self-denial.
That's the argument. It emphasizes a different kind of strength.
Okay, before we dig into how this incredible world was actually built, we wanted to share something quickly. If you're having those aha moments listening, or just want a space for deeper reflection on books like this,
we really encourage you to check out Mindful Moments. That's our YouTube channel. It offers AI book analysis designed to inspire reflection and, well, rational thought.
Definitely worth exploring. So, back to Middle-earth itself. The world building is legendary.
It's one of the most detailed, most consistent fictional worlds ever created. The geography isn't just backdrop. It's physical, political, moral.
Right, like the Shire is pastoral, safe. Rivendell is ethereal. Mordor is just desolation and evil. The land reflects its nature.
And the journey itself, generally west to east, mirrors that spiritual journey from innocence towards experience, towards danger. The return journey west then suggests renewal.
And Tolkien's background here was crucial, wasn't it? He was a philologist, a language expert.
Foundational. His deep knowledge of language, how it evolves, how it shapes culture. That's what gives Middle-earth its unparalleled sense of authenticity.
He didn't just make up names. He constructed entire languages, like Elvish, with histories and grammar.
Yes, his belief was that language and story are inseparable. The names, the etymologies, the different ways characters speak, it all contributes to this feeling that Middle-earth is a real ancient place with diverse cultures.
That integration of language, culture, geography, it feels less like fantasy, more like discovering a lost history.
That's exactly the effect. It lends it enormous weight.
Now, in terms of literary context, where does it fit? Critics see influences from older works, right?
Oh, definitely. Things like the Anglo-Saxon epic Beowulf, Norse mythology, medieval romances. Tolkien was steeped in all of that.
And you can see how he's engaging with those traditions, themes of heroism, morality, the supernatural, but adapting them.
He's both honoring them and making them new, addressing modern concerns through these ancient forms.
We should also probably mention some of the criticisms or controversial aspects. People have raised questions.
Yes, it's important to acknowledge that. Some critics have pointed to, for example, the role of women in the story, or a kind of idealized pastoralism, or even potential racial implications in how different peoples are depicted.
Right. And it's also fair to say that defenders argue these critiques might misunderstand Tolkien's intent or his specific literary methods. We're just noting the discussion exists.
Exactly. It's part of the ongoing scholarly conversation around the book, but its impact goes way beyond academia.
Oh, massively. It basically shaped modern fantasy. Countless authors were inspired by it, established genre conventions.
And then the Peter Jackson films, they brought Middle-earth to a huge global audience, didn't they? Won Oscars, sparked renewed interest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those films really cemented its place in popular culture. It also sparked a lot of debate about adaptation, book versus film.
A whole other deep dive there.
Huh, true. So, wrapping up, why does The Lord of the Rings endure? What makes it a masterpiece?
I think it's that unique combination. It's mythic storytelling, but with really deep psychological insight, plus the linguistic innovation, the world building.
He managed to create this fully realized world, but used it to explore these absolutely fundamental questions about being human. Power, death, good versus evil.
And those themes, sacrifice, friendship, the struggle, they just resonate, don't they? Across cultures, across time.
Its influence on fantasy literature is undeniable, and the sheer craft involved. It really is one of the 20th century's major literary achievements.
It offers escape, yes, but also real enlightenment, I think.
So the big takeaway for you, listening today, what should you be thinking about?
Well, perhaps consider this. How does a story like this, born from deep academic study and the trauma of war, how does it still speak so powerfully to us now, to our own understanding of good, evil, and maybe those small acts of courage that, in the end, really do change the world?
A profound thought to leave with. And remember, you can explore these ideas further with Mindful Moments on our YouTube channel.
And do check out other deep dives from our podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.
Please subscribe if you haven't. Share this with someone who might be curious. You'll find links in the show notes to explore Tolkien's work further.
And most importantly, keep thinking critically about the stories that shape our understanding of the world.